Have you ever noticed how many countries end up with just two main political parties? It's a phenomenon that seems almost universal, transcending borders and cultures. It's like a cosmic dance, where smaller parties get pulled in by the gravitational force of the bigger ones. Imagine the political landscape as a vast universe, with the major parties acting like massive celestial bodies, exerting an irresistible pull on the smaller entities around them. We see this pattern repeat itself across the globe. From Europe to Asia, Africa to the Americas, the two-party system seems to be a recurring theme in the political arena. From the United States to the United Kingdom, two behemoths often dominate the political landscape. But why is that? What makes these two-party systems so prevalent and seemingly inevitable? It's a question that has puzzled political scientists for centuries. Scholars have long debated the reasons behind this phenomenon, delving into historical, social, and economic factors that contribute to the rise of two dominant parties. Why do we often end up with a political system that resembles a cosmic tug-of-war between two dominant forces? This tug-of-war isn't just a metaphor, it represents the constant struggle for power and influence between the two main parties. It all boils down to a fascinating political theory known as Duverger's law. This theory suggests that the electoral system itself plays a crucial role in shaping the party structure, often leading to a two-party system. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Duverger's law essentially states that in a plurality voting system, where the candidate with the most votes wins, smaller parties are less likely to survive. In fact, it's something that we can observe in our everyday lives. Whether it's a casual conversation at a cafe, a heated debate at a family dinner, or a friendly discussion among friends, the influence of the two-party system is ever present, shaping our political discourse and decisions. Imagine the universe billions of years ago, a time when the cosmos was a vast, dark expanse, filled with potential but devoid of the structures we see today. Clouds of gas and dust, scattered across the vast expanse, began to clump together under the relentless pull of gravity. These clouds, seemingly insignificant on their own, started to form the building blocks of the universe. Over time, these clumps grew larger and larger, forming stars and eventually entire galaxies. The process was slow, taking millions of years, but the result was the magnificent universe we observe today, filled with countless stars and galaxies. Duverger's law operates on a similar principle, but instead of cosmic dust, we're dealing with votes, and instead of gravity, we have the strategic choices of voters. Just as gravity pulls particles together, voters are drawn to candidates who seem most likely to win. In essence, Duverger's law states that electoral systems like our universe have a tendency towards simplicity. This law suggests that in a first-past-the-post system, where the candidate with the most votes wins, the political landscape naturally evolves towards a two-party system. In systems where the candidate with the most votes wins, like in the United States, two major parties naturally emerge. This is because voters, aiming to make their votes count, often choose between the two leading candidates, sidelining smaller parties. Why? Because voters, much like those clouds of cosmic dust, are drawn towards the candidates with the greatest gravitational pull, the frontrunners. This gravitational pull is the perceived viability of a candidate, which influences voter behavior, leading to the dominance of two major parties. Imagine you're a voter who supports a smaller party. You believe in their message, their vision, but deep down, a nagging doubt creeps in. Will my vote really matter? This is the crux of Duverger's law. Voters, fearing that their vote for a smaller party will be wasted, gravitate towards the two major parties, even if their views align more closely with the underdog. It's like trying to build a sandcastle too close to the ocean. The relentless waves of strategic voting erode support for smaller parties, leaving only the two major parties standing tall on the political shoreline. Let's take a break from the cosmic scale and bring Duverger's law down to earth, shall we? This law, often discussed in political science, can be surprisingly relevant in our everyday lives. Imagine you're at a coffee shop with your friends. It's a cozy place filled with the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee. You're trying to decide what kind of coffee to get, cappuccinos or lattes. The menu is extensive, but these two options stand out. Some of your friends are passionate about cappuccinos, others are latte enthusiasts, and they each have their reasons. And then there's the macchiato. A few of your friends are advocating for this lesser-known drink, praising its unique flavor. However, you only have one vote as a group. The decision-making process begins, and everyone starts to weigh in. What do you think will happen? The debate gets intense, with each person trying to convince the others. It's highly likely that the group will end up choosing between cappuccinos and lattes, the two most popular choices. The macchiato, despite its merits, struggles to gain traction. The two most popular choices often dominate the conversation, leading to a final decision that reflects the majority's preference. The macchiato, despite its merits, gets lost in the shuffle. This scenario is a perfect illustration of Duverger's law in action, showing how majority rule can sometimes overshadow minority preferences. Section 5, the pizza paradox. Here's another example. Imagine ordering pizza with a group of friends. You have a variety of toppings to choose from: pepperoni, mushrooms, olives, and the more adventurous pineapple. As you go around the table, it becomes clear that pepperoni and mushrooms are the front runners. Now, those who initially favored olives or the controversial pineapple might start to waver. They realize that their preferred topping might not stand a chance against the pepperoni and mushroom juggernauts. So they strategically switch their votes to their second favorite topping, further solidifying the dominance of pepperoni and mushrooms. Section 6, beyond the binary. When Duverger takes a break. Now, it's important to note that Duverger's law isn't a universal law of nature like gravity. There are exceptions, like countries that use proportional representation systems. In these systems, the share of seats a party gets in Parliament or Congress is proportional to the number of votes they receive. Think of it like this. Imagine if, in our pizza analogy, everyone got a slice of pizza with their preferred topping, regardless of how many people voted for it. This encourages diversity of choice and allows smaller parties to gain a foothold. Section 7. Duverger on the world stage. Duverger's law has profound implications for how we understand politics. It explains why two-party systems are so common and why smaller parties often struggle to break through. It highlights the strategic dilemmas voters face in winner-take-all systems. Understanding Duverger's law can help us make sense of political landscapes across the globe. It helps explain why certain countries seem locked in a two-party dance, while others embrace a more diverse political ecosystem. Section 8. The price of choice. Duverger's law also raises important questions about the trade-offs between stability and diversity of choice. Two-party systems, while predictable, can sometimes lead to political polarization and a narrowing of the political spectrum. On the other hand, systems with multiple parties may offer more diverse choices, but can sometimes be more fragmented and less stable. Ultimately, the ideal electoral system is a matter of ongoing debate and depends on the specific values and priorities of a society. Section 9. The universe tends towards simplicity. Just as the universe tends towards simplicity, with stars clustering into galaxies and planets orbiting stars, so too does our political landscape often gravitate towards two-party systems. Duverger's law, like the laws of physics, helps us make sense of the patterns we observe in the world around us. So the next time you're pondering the political landscape, remember Duverger's law. It's a reminder that even in the complex world of politics, there are often simple, elegant principles at play shaping the choices we make.